Message after message poured in. Sympathy, shock, guilt. A few were awkward and unsure, the kind of apologetic attempts that felt more about their discomfort than my pain. But I didn't mind. I hadn't written it for pity. I'd written it for the truth. Then came the last name I expected to show up in my inbox. Alyssa. Nathan's wife. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. He told me you were unstable and violent, that your grandmother took you in after you assaulted your mom. I feel sick. I stared at her message for a while, unsure of how to respond. She messaged again. I left him last night. My breath caught. Apparently she had read the email out loud to Nathan. He laughed at first, then got defensive, then angry. Then he grabbed her phone, tried to delete it, and shouted at her for being naive. Alyssa, 7 months pregnant, and finally done being gaslit, packed a bag, and left for her sisters. She said my message snapped something in her. She saw the pattern now, and knew their baby deserved better. I didn't gloat. I just told her, you did the right thing. That should have been the end of it. But Nathan never did like being exposed. 3 days later, I was leaving my favorite coffee shop, just walking toward my car, when I heard someone call my name. I turned and saw him standing there. Nathan. He looked like a shadow of who he used to be. Unshaven, eyes sunken, wearing the same varsity jacket he'd had since high school, like he was still clinging to the last time anyone thought he was important. You think you're better than me now? He sneered. I didn't answer. He walked closer. Too close. You always played the victim. Even now, what? You want everyone to feel bad for you? You think anyone gives a damn about your sob story? I could smell the cheap beer on his breath. You lied, I said. Calm, quiet. Yeah? He laughed, bitter and sharp. So what? You survived, didn't you? You've got your big house and your little billboard, so quit crying. There was so much I wanted to say. I wanted to scream. I wanted to list every night I cried myself to sleep, every birthday I spent alone, every time I doubted my worth because of him. But I didn't, because he wanted a scene. So I stepped around him, opened my car door, and said just one thing. You lied. I thrived. And now you have to live with that. I left him standing in the parking lot. That night, I had dinner with my grandmother. She was the only one who never needed proof. I told her everything, about the email, the messages, even the run-in with Nathan. She listened, her hands folded neatly in her lap, only nodding occasionally. After I finished, she reached across the table and held my hand. You did good, she said. That was all I needed. A week later, I got a certified letter from my parents' lawyer. Apparently, they were considering defamation proceedings over my email to the family. I laughed, loudly. My own lawyer. Yes, I finally hired one for myself. Told me to relax. Their claims were baseless, empty threats. The attached evidence alone, especially Nathan's own written admission, would bury them. I never heard back from their lawyer. They went quiet again. I guess when you stop being useful, you disappear. That's when I decided to do something I hadn't done in years. I framed the note they left on my trash bag that night. You're on your own now. Learn something from this. It hangs in my office now, right next to my Chamber of Commerce award. Some people frame their diplomas. I framed a warning, and turned it into a promise. Spare. That's what he called me. Just a spare. A ghost in the family photo. A seat left empty at dinners. A name barely said aloud unless it followed the phrase, what's wrong with her? But do you want to know the cruelest part of being a spare? Spare parts get recycled. And that's exactly what they tried to do. Recycle me. It began again with a knock. Not a voicemail, not a message, not another car on the street. A knock on my door, just after dusk. I almost didn't answer it. But something in me needed to. When I opened it, I didn't see my father. I saw a man shrinking inside his own body. Gone was the gruff voice. Gone is the superiority. He stood there in a threadbare sweater, holding an envelope. Not a letter. A stack of paper.